Welcome to section 4. In the first couple videos of the section, you learned that we're going to be diving into the operations phase of buildings, as well as the ability to sort of visualize data in better ways. And this video is to give you a sense of how to use visualization and use analysis and data science that you've learned so far in the context of what I call telling a story with data. This is really important for not just things like the group project or, doing well in this course, but also, like I said, in the real world, when you work on most data science tasks, especially in the built environment, most of the focus is going to be influencing a decision maker. So I wanted to show some really, really good examples of analysis from a different data set that do a great job at showing how to influence decision makers, inform people, inform human beings. This is an analytics competition on the Kaggle platform focused on the use of the 2020 machine learning Kaggle data science survey. This is a survey that's sent out every year by Kaggle to people. And this one specifically had 20,000 responses. And they have a competition each year. They give away $30,000 in prize money to notebook authors who tell a rich story about a subset of the data science and machine learning community using this raw data set. If you look at the description, they're asking people in this competition to do what the submissions look like. Here you can see that they use composition, originality, and documentation as their evaluation criteria. And then they basically, you create a notebook to analyze the data set and you submit it, and then they sort of evaluate it. The data set itself is over 20,000 responses to around 40 questions. And these questions are related to people who responded to the survey were giving information about themselves as data scientists, what kind of tools they use, what kind of salary they get, personal attributes about them, including their location, their education levels, and the amount of time experience they have and things like that. I'm going to skip right over to discussion because there was sort of prizes in this competition. And before we dive into that, you can see here that in terms of code, there is lots and lots of notebooks. If I scroll, you'll notice that there are dozens or maybe even hundreds of notebooks where people are processing this data set. But I want to show the prize winners because these have been evaluated by Kaggle across 300 submissions. These are the winners of the competition. Basically, people taking the data set to answer a certain question. And the questions that they sort of ask are developed by themselves. So Kaggle's not telling them what questions. They don't have tasks for this particular competition. They have an even more vague definition of what they're supposed to be doing. So let's take a look at the top prize. Let's take a look at the top 3 winners: first prize, second prize, third prize. And I went ahead and already sort of opened, and I haven't copied these solutions yet, but I just wanted to go through them. Let's look at the third place solution, for example. Third place solutions using a Kaggle notebook to look at the data set to make it into sort of a game even. It looks like treasure hunt, what gives to be really good. So building a smarter and faster path to greatness. So you can see that they have kind of a table of contents, an introduction. It tells them what they're working on. They're using the formatting of the text in the Kaggle notebook in a really kind of fun way. They're using different types of font to maybe showcase different parts of their equation. I'm not going to go through this story in detail, but basically they are using visualization. They're using a lot of explanation. And you'll notice that they're really telling a story in a sense. And this is something that I want everyone to think about and learn. There's hidden code, so that all the code that they use in this story is sort of in there, but you can hide it or show it based on what you want to see. The number 1 submission for this competition is kind of a deep dive into a certain type of visualization, a slope visualization. Here you can see that their example notebook is very simple. It's kind of interesting. They have a very clear title. They've got this fun GIF here. They've got a nice explanation. They talk about what they're trying to do with the slope graph. They're showing examples. This is not, this is kind of an annotated example. They're even marking something up here. But as I scroll down, you'll notice that they're basically telling a story with this new type of graph. They're showing different ways you can use the graph, their education versus experience, et cetera, et cetera. So If you skim through these examples of using data to tell a story, this is going to be very helpful because it gives you a sense of how to take raw data, take a certain type of question or direction, which is what the tasks are, and really develop a notebook which helps answer that question. You can use visualization as your primary tool. You can supplement that with machine learning, unsupervised or supervised. Those are really advanced methods. You're going in a certain direction to answer a certain question. Imagine you're in this competition and you're basically submitting something, but you're using the data set that I provided and the tasks that I provided. Think of it this way in a sense of how to approach a really good data analysis. It's all about, once again, telling a story in a sense. So these are great examples to keep in mind.